And we're back. So, Josh, if you could do us the honors of bringing us into tonight's session, we will get started.
Absolutely, and thank you, Forge Master. Welcome, everybody, back to our story, where we heroes left off. Last session, the heroes returned to Castor with proof of killing Trelia and Septia, attempting to earn the harp as a reward, which he promised. We met with some suspicion, but for the most part, he seemed to be playing along. And what he took great delight in, Castor broke the harp in front of us and decided to just laugh in our faces. This drove Ina into quite a rage, and she launched a very vicious attack on Castor, bringing him nearly to a very quick ending. I don't know, perhaps she did end him in one fight. I think that does sound better. The battle was fierce, but the heroes were victorious, of course. I had to save a lot of lives, but once again, we walked away. Well, some of us hoofed away. We retrieved the parts and pieces of the harp and then returned to Mitros. I made certain that Castor's corpse was following along in a cart covered in hay, which is more than he deserved, but I didn't wish to be stopped by questionable folk. We attempted to bring Castor's corpse to the Cult of Lutheria, at first to turn in for a reward, because they wanted to know who was responsible for the death of Trelia and Septia. We had recently implicated Castor and his crew for the deaths of Trelia and Septia, and we're hoping that we could cash in on that. But when we got back to the Cult of Lutheria, we found the doors completely locked, and the cultist nowhere to be seen. Finding a door had happened to be open on the backside of the church. We did a little cursory investigation and determined, with no one in sight, we didn't want to be caught in the middle of the church when no one was supposed to be in there. So we retreated and regrouped, trying to determine what bearings we should take. Ari decided to go to the Church of
You're on,
Sidon.
not Ari.
Sorry. I've got your name right in front of me, and I even said it. God bless it.
I do that all the time.
I know, right? Euron decided to go check with the Church of Sidon to see if, or the Order of Sidon, excuse me, to see if any of them might know what's up with the cultist, while the rest of us decided to return to the Church of the Five Gods, for each of us in our own little reasons, but that's where we ultimately decided to go. Euron was able to discern that the disappearance of the cultist is not uncommon during times of initiation rituals. And the rest of us, when we were approaching the Church of the Five Gods, were very surprised to find ourselves in the presence of none other than the Oracle herself. A little flabbergasted and stunned where we stood with our mouths agape, and that's where we shall pick up our adventure.
Indeed. So, brave heroes, you stand in front of you the Temple of the Five in the Temple District in Mitros, a glorious building with the large marble colonnades and the beautiful artwork all around it, statues and fountains surrounding you. Up at the top of the stair, you see Valis and the Oracle and Lorius standing together, looking down upon you. With them is the elderly acolyte of the Temple of the Five that you met previously, Mistred. They look at you expectantly, somewhat confused and shocked to have walked upon you, maybe? Sun shines down on you. There's a few people milling about. The scene is yours.
I'm going to just look at Lorius and then just open my arms, sort of like expecting a hug, and just smile at him.
You see Lorius turn away from the Oracle and grin largely at you. His hairy, wrinkled cheeks go up a bit, and he almost ceremoniously, slowly walks down the stairs, like he's trying to hold himself back, but also wants to get there very quickly.
Oh, get over here, darling.
He stops for a moment in front of you, and then reaches out and hugs you gingerly. Hello, Euron.
I'm picking him up. I do the proper pick him up and spin him a bit hug.
You hear him grunt a little bit. Squeeze a little bit too hard and put him back down. You see him straighten out his white toga type clothing and
brush
adjust
off the dirt.
the
That's
medallion.
probably the water that's definitely on him as a result of an elemental that soaked me.
Well, you seem to be doing well. You all seem to be doing very well. Aina, Cyanus, I guess.
Hey, buddy!
Hello.
Nice robes. What you got there? That's interesting.
Oh, they don't fit quite right, but
Oh,
they are
everyone likes a
comfortable.
little bit of baggage. Yeah, nah, that's an interesting attire you got there.
Well, according to Aesop, I am a full-fledged acolyte of Mitros now, and I suppose I'm supposed to wear the garb, as it were, so I can be identified and do proper honor to her.
It's just unusual seeing you fully clothed without adorned in flowers.
Although I haven't seen such things, I hear the same could be said about you. I believe you know Versi? And you see the Oracle up there, her hands are crossed together, and she bows slightly, that golden circlet around her head with the red eye in the middle, bowing as her dark hair sweeps down her shoulders, and she approaches down the stairs as well. Val is following shortly behind, kind of presiding over the situation, taking it all in from her vantage point. Greetings, heroes. Euron. Aina, Lycus, Cyanus. It brings me much joy to see all of you in such good health. I have heard much about what you have been accomplishing, and it warms my heart. How have you been?
Well, I'm not dead, so there's that.
Well, he was dead, but then he wasn't dead.
Because Lutheria likes to make mistakes.
There has not been a dull moment, my lady.
It seems that way. Lutheria does many things, although mistakes, those are rare. But if you say so, I believe you. So what brings you to Mitros?
Oh, what hasn't brought us to Mitros? First, you have the storms and Sidon, and then lightning striking Euron and Aina, and then they want us to find the boat, and then they want us to solve problems, and then they want us to make sure we save everybody, and then the Cult of Lutheria is poisoning everybody, and then they tell us to go kill these people, and then everybody. You know what? Fuck this city. That's what brought us here. I'm sorry. I've had a trying day.
I'm
Again,
sure
never a dull moment, my lady.
that much is apparent. I'm sure you have done much great things. Your fame has spread rapidly, and although you may not see it, the fate wheels itself around you, and the things you are doing here send ripples throughout the pond of time. As long as you will be in Mitros, I'm here to preside over the games, as I do every year. I would be happy to have you as my house guests, and have a residence that I stay in annually in the Noble District. It is very large enough for all of us, and then some. Unless you prefer your current arrangements, whatever that may be.
I mean,
Whereabouts in the Noble District, my lady?
I'm sorry?
Whereabouts in the Noble District?
Near the Vault of Thylea, just around the corner. You may have seen it. It's a large 3-story structure, very well lit, many windows, and quite sturdy.
I have seen it. It's a lovely building.
Thank you. It's not mine. It is gifted by King Acastus every year. He owns the property. The city owns the property.
Are you safe here, milady? I mean, the last time, we met, we're in quite dire situation. And from my understanding, the five gods themselves are being taxed and weakened, and I mean, is this really the time to be in the public, or?
I'm doing much better than you, Lycus, says Kira from behind your shoulder.
I run up and give her the hugest hug. Kira!
She rocks back a little bit and kind of pat you lovingly.
Her.
I am on my feet, as you can see, as are you.
Yeah, I try to make sure she doesn't fall over when I slam into her. But like, no, I've got you.
The weight you put into it, that is a definite concern initially, but she's much stronger than she appears on her feet. I'm all right, Lycus, I'm all right. There's no need for all this. You're making a scene. As much as I like a scene, I think your friends are feeling left out.
He was worried sick about you, my lady. Kira. Sorry.
That's sweet to be so thoughtful. So, I seem to have found you all. But it seems that you're missing one of us. Versi, where is my brother gone? He's still in the temple, my lady. Speaking with the acolytes. Oh.
Which brother?
All right. The god of battle, Pythor. Of course.
Oh, I didn't know if you brought someone else.
No, the only brother I have.
I'm just saying, you know, maybe.
I appreciate your attention to detail, Lycus. He must still be in there talking to the pretty acolytes, as is often his way. We are here for the games, and of course, some of us more for you. I'm happy to see you're all doing well, and I've heard about your exploits, not only from your own mouths just now, but also through the winds. It's traveled very far. You're doing well. And very much thank you for that, and for saving the temple during the hurricane as well. We could have lost much influence that day, but if not for you.
Yes, the Cult of Lutheria has tried to do as much as they can to spread their influence, and luckily we've been able to put a little bit of a dampen on that.
And the cult is always attempting to spread their influence. That is their way. They do it through wine and gifts and promises of happiness and pleasure, just as the Order of Sidon does it at a shield, command, and a spear. But enough about them, for the moment at least. The games are coming up. That will be a great time for each of you to win even more fame and more influence among the people of Thylea. Or the Oracle, Versi, will be presiding, as she said. I'll be a spectator, but Pythor, of course, is a guest of honor since he won the first games ever after the First War. He'll be happy to see you as well. He has largely come out of his rut as of late, which is good.
Did he happen to bring any of that god wine he carries?
You can ask him yourself.
I will be more than happy to.
And she glances over your shoulder, and you all look up, and you see Pythor standing there at the top of the shelf, his blondish hair almost flowing in a wind that seems supernatural, arms on his hips like Superman, chest out with a beautiful breastplate, and his beard just glistening in the sunlight.
Fucking Fabio.
My friends!
That's what I was thinking!
He kind of half jogs down and jumps the last 3 steps. How are you all? It is quite a beautiful day to see you here in the city of Mitros. Oh, Aina. Looking strong. May have to arm wrestle you later. Lycus, you look pretty as ever.
Oh, you're too kind. Your golden lock, wavy haired self, sir.
You may wear green, you don't have to be green, Lycus. You son of a bitch. Oh, man.
Give me a hug.
Oh, he puts one arm around you and you feel your breath kind of get squeezed out for a moment.
And I start looking for his wine.
He has a shoulder strapped bag and there's clearly a wineskin, a large wineskin attached to it.
I totally snatch his thing of wine. Absolutely. Just like, ha-ha! Yoink! Give me it, yeah!
He doesn't even stop you. He sees you.
It wasn't even sleight of hand. This is just straight up like, ah!
He goes with it. Toothy grin. He turns to Aina and pats you on the back. Aina, how have you been?
I've been well. How is Honora?
Much the same. Much the same. She is still, at least, and her body is at peace. Well, so, Mitros. That is not quite as nice as Astoria, but it is larger, I'll give it that, and bigger does matter if you ask the right people.
I have little experience, but I've heard, isn't it how it is implemented rather than size?
Well, you could have a 6-foot-long spear or a 7-foot-long spear and dealt by the same woman or man. The 7-foot-long spear would obviously be better in battle, wouldn't you say?
And then you have my spear that just wants to drink.
I just look at Kira and I'm like, I just feel like there's something else going on here. I'm not putting my finger on it.
Your spear doesn't count, Austin. It's magic.
Austin.
Ha, you did it too.
Austin. Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Cyanus.
Cyanus. Yes.
Let's see, 2 out of 5.
Your spear wishes to drink, Versi says. A
Yeah,
very confused look.
Ever since we picked it up, like 3-ish weeks ago, it's been whispering to me every so often, asking me to give it my own blood.
He picked it off of a Gaian, for context.
And I mean, I'm really liking the spear. I really like this spear. Is that bad?
It's fascinating, at the very least. I've never heard of such thing. Pythor? He just kind of shrugs. Would you mind if I looked at it for a moment? I've never heard of such a thing, which is saying something.
I mean, sure, but I'm gonna need it back.
Of course, I do not wish to keep it. What use do I have for a spear? He takes it from you.
Go.
Puts it in her hands. As soon as it leaves your grasp into hers, you feel nervous. You feel antsy, like almost as though your arms are twitching to take it back, and you kind of have to force yourself for a moment to stay still and let her inspect it. She turns it over in her hands a few times and traces the runes along the shaft with her finger curiously and hands it back to you with a perplexed look on her face. Yes, that is quite the spear, Cyanus.
Yeah,
It is quite sharp. Take care with it.
Vulcan was saying, and it might have come from one of the Fae out there in the wilds. So, if that's a clue for you, there you go.
Valis, have you heard of any such thing? The goddess of wisdom steps forward. I have heard of similar weapons forged with dark magics. Centuries past, at the height of the First War when they were at their most desperate. I shall have to make some inquisitions at the Academy. I do not know for the moment, any more than that. I apologize.
Well, if you hear anything, let me know.
Indeed. I will.
Lady Valis, I also have a question for you, maybe, I'm unsure if you would recall or not. And I'm gonna go into my bag, and I want to pull out the canvas that I got from my house, and I'm gonna offer it to her with the writing on the back and say, "Do you recognize this figure at all?"
She takes it from you gingerly and kind of turns it a bit to see better with the sunlight, stares at it for a moment, and it almost appears to be a look of fleeting recognition on her face, although if so, it's wispy and momentary at best. She, after staring at it for a moment, she kind of shakes her head a bit and... No, I don't recognize this figure, which is quite remarkable because he bears all the trappings of previous rulers of Mitros. This crown and the scepter. Before King Acastus. No, I'm sorry, Euron. I do not recognize this individual at all. And she hands a scroll back to you.
Apparently he's an ancestor of mine, which would make sense if you don't recognize him, but I thought I would try.
You have given me much to think about between the two of you. Do you, Lycus, or you, Aina, have any more surprises for me to be confused about? It's not a feeling I experience often.
Aina, do you want to show her the harp?
I don't have the harp.
I think I do. This one I probably would turn to Kira. And just go, for the record, we didn't do it.
You see,
I'm gonna reach in.
Yeah, he did it. And I point to the cart with the corpse in it that's got hay, just a bunch of hay on it. Yeah, he
and
did
I'm
it.
very, very slowly going to hold out the remains of the Boreal harp.
her eyes wide, her face just goes slack for a moment.
It was we watched it get cracked over someone's knee. I'm sorry.
If it's any consolation, guy is a total,
Yeah, he's over there. If you want to ask him questions, you could do that whole speak to the dead thing, and we can get some answers out of him. If you really want mine, I'd really like to ask him a few questions. Like, he summoned some demon thingies, he turned all creepy, he broke the harp, and he got murdered.
Apparently he and some other companions are the ones that took them from the temple. Took your instruments from the temple.
As y'all are talking, she just kind of slowly reached out and took the harp and looked at it for a moment, staring down, staring up. As she was doing that, everybody else, when y'all pointed at the cart, they all looked over at the cart and they're just kind of like trying to figure out what you mean by he's in the cart, because they just see a cart with a blanket over the top.
He's in the cart. Trust me.
Just be chill about it.
She hands it back to you. Well, it's of no good to me at this moment. And as you probably know by now, they were on display here anyway, although they were of quite sentimental value to me. Well, if you have need of it, you are welcome to it as heroes of the prophecy, although I would like it back eventually. Perhaps my father can fix it. They should be able to. He made it.
Vulcan made this.
Yes,
I'll
he made
take it
all of
back
my
from
instruments.
Kira. As they're talking. Like, I'll just take it back. Be like, okay, thanks.
You got it.
Yeah, she's got to bring it back to some nymph or something. I don't know. And I'm pointing at Aina.
So, hold on. Joey, can I confirm a name with you really quickly? Just
Go for it.
side note. What's the name of the Amazon Queen again? Never mind. I got it in my head. Never mind. Time in.
Thessaly.
Thessaly. Thank you.
He spawned that one on me. Took me a second. Yes, a nymph. Anyway, as far as speaking with the dead, I can't do anything of the sort. The only ones who dabble in magic such as this would be those who follow Lutheria and interact with the dead. We prefer to let the dead lie as they were, or bring them back to life. It's when you get into the death magic, it gets so icky. Yeah.
Well, they've been particularly quiet. They're going through their new initiations today, I think.
Valis raises an eyebrow. You see her kind of jolt for a moment, although by the time your eyes track to her, she's still uncomposed as always. Initiations, you say?
Well, that's what we suspect. We found a door open on the backside, and we kind of peeked around a little bit. Hello? And nobody to be seen, and...
The priest of Sidon said the last, that normally when that sort of thing happens, they're going through some kind of initiation.
Curious. Normally the city is notified if they are accepting new leaders.
Well, with the sudden death of Trellis and Septia, I mean, is it that unusual?
Quite, but they never miss an opportunity to make a show of such things. The only time that I know of they've ever held initiations in private. Or when the children are taking the black.
I'm sorry, so when the what?
Do you remember the Stygian in the palace with King Acastus and the rest of us?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah, I remember him, and I really hope that son of a bitch had been killed, but yeah, I remember.
And you remember his recommendation to placate the Lord of Storms was to offer some children up to the Temple of Lutheria so that they could be initiated and take the black.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that initiated.
To clarify, taking the black simply means becoming a member of the cult, correct?
As far as they are willing to admit, yes, but I have my suspicions that it entails more than that.
And where
Of
does
course,
this initiation usually take place?
That is a closely guarded secret even I am not privy to, unfortunately. Although I can tell you as much that, as far as officially speaking, they have no other property within the city walls of Mitros
10 gold says
outside
the
of the
basement.
temple.
Yeah.
Who said the basement?
Those always tend to be done. If they own nowhere else than the temple, and we did not see nor hear them on the main floor, nor did they see or hear us. Logic says basement.
Hmm.
Also, basements tend to be dark, creepy places, and if there were anything ominous happening there, they want to make sure it would be far out of anyone's eyes.
They guard their ceremonies very carefully, and once the children take the black, they send them off to the furthest reaches in Thylia to spread Lutheria's teachings and disperse wine and revelry amongst the population wherever they go, or so they say. All we know is once the children take the black, we never see them again.
I remember making sure my son never went near them.
Do you know how long the initiation takes?
No, as you said, these things are seemingly at random and they don't advertise them, possibly to keep prying eyes from discovering more than they would like us to know, and what they would like us to know is nothing. I really have no knowledge about this in particular. Perhaps an acolyte of Lutheria would.
That's the problem, we can't find any of them.
Quite so. Well, if there's nothing else, my friends, I must get back to the palace to continue running the kingdom. Be well.
Take care, man.
Lady?
Valos goes off. And taking a cue, Oracle and Lorius kind of step up for a moment. Well, right, that was sufficiently tense. I'm going to retire to my residence in the Noble District. Euron said she's familiar with it, so if you'd like to stay there, you're more than welcome. At any hour, we always have serving hands available to help you in and move your things if required.
Who's this talking?
The Oracle.
Oh, I thought you said,
She said
Devastator.
Versi and Lorius.
Yeah, I thought
Versi's the one
you
talking.
said Lorius. Okay, I was like, you in the Noble District, huh, Lorius? you just moving on up.
Yeah,
Never mind.
they both stepped up at the same time. He seems to be kind of traveling with her.
My lady, actually, I have one last question. Maybe
course.
You say you oversee the games. We've heard that there's a delegation of Amazons attending.
I have heard that as well. It is not unheard of, but it is less than common. They should be arriving in the next day or so, much as the rest of the competitors will as well. The ones from Astoria arrived with our party, along with King Pythorn, of course, everyone else.
Do you happen to know any who is attending of Is there a list of names or sent ahead or any such thing?
There is not. On the day the games begin, everybody who wants to compete... Sorry, I assumed you all knew this. I didn't explain it. That's my apologies. Those who want to compete, who don't have a sponsor, pay a silver piece and compete in the trials. And if they succeed in the trials, then they go on to the full competition. And if they win, then they get all the fame and accolades therefrom. Those who have a sponsor, that typically means that they have a partner along with them and their silver cost to entry is covered. But no, we don't know who will be competing until they arrive and put their name down, pay their entryway, and then complete the trials.
Do the Amazons ever send men along with them?
No, they do not.
Thank you, my lady.
Of course. Well, as I said, I would go rest. My home is open to each and all of you. Anytime. Be well.
Take
And
care.
Percy, Lorius bows deeply. Mitros go with all of you. While I'm here, I will be staying with the Oracle. Aesop has been teaching me much and thought that maybe the things that I have, and he pats on his side, he has a large leather satchel, and you see round parchments and scrolls and things of that nature just kind of busting out. The things that I have may be of use going forward in your adventures, since he can't travel with you. I have a condensed history in Aesop's shorthand. He taught me how to read it, so... and I have been blessed by Mitros with some of the abilities that may be useful, if you wish to have me along. I will be staying with the Oracle, as I said, so it would be a pleasure to see you all again. Each of you. His eyes lingering just a hair longer on Lycus as he looks around and bows lightly.
Hey guys, do you think we have a sponsor, or someone would just be like, yeah, I definitely want to sponsor the heroes? Or
Well, we
should
have
we just
someone
like...
paying for all of our current bills. I wouldn't be surprised, but hey, maybe it'll be a lot more fun, or just to go into the amateur category and work your way up.
go underdog?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You see, now, talking about this, everybody else has left. You glance around, and Pythor had excused himself at some point while you were talking, and he seems to be over in a corner talking to a very well-endowed lady of the Temple of the Five. She seems to be respectfully giving him a bit of a cold shoulder, but he's grinning and happy. Somehow he got his wineskin back from you, Lycus.
What the shit? That little thief.
He sees you looking over
Lycus,
for
I'm
a
right
second
here.
and waves. So, the conversation has ended. You're standing at the Temple of the Five in the Temple District of Mitros. It's about noon, give or take. What would you like to do?
Whenever the Amazons get here, I would love to meet them. I have a question or two I want to ask.
I just want to find out, can anybody raise that guy? Or at least let me talk to him, excuse me, not raise him. But I have some questions I'd like answered. So if it's, there's someone in particular I need to talk to about that.
Cyanus,
Go on.
do you happen to know anyone of any ill-reputable magic in your contacts?
I mean,
Well, clerics can do it too.
we were...
Like
But she
these
said the
priestly
only-
folk.
But they said that the only main people who should be able to are the ones we can't talk to right now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
Yeah.
there's no harm in going down there to ask him, but I mean, I never dealt with any magic users down there.
Yeah, let me clarify a couple of things. First of all, Cyanus, your experience with the undesirables, as you put them. As far as you know, they never had anything to do with magic at all. What Kira was saying is the temple of the five. Listen to me. The five gods, they are able to restore life and heal and things like that. But as far as interacting with anything while it's still dead, that's out of their sphere, so to speak.
Okay, that makes sense.
Lycus and Euron, you would probably recall, it's easy enough to recall, that given the right circumstances, the right influence, or the right donation, whatever it may be at the time, the clerics at the Temple of the Five, the clerics of Mitros, have been able in the past to bring people back to life and heal grievous wounds and restore maladies and things of that nature. In a limited sense. It's not, you can't bring back somebody that's been a year ago, but
Yeah, no,
relatively
no worries.
recent time frame they can do that. So that is an option, or you could try and track down someone who can dabble in the death magics, so to speak.
Yeah, I just want to find someone who can speak with dead.
Are we gonna go investigate and see if they've got children they're initiating right now?
Ugh.
If we do, we gotta be on guard. Because nothing about that place sat right with me. Like, it's not supposed to be that quiet.
I'm not in a position to get into a fight if it were to happen. So if we do this, we're going to need to be sneaking because I used one of my last spells to open that door.
And with how quiet it was in there, you're probably all together.
Yeah.
So if it goes tits up, it's gonna go real hard.
Yeah, I'm going to be pretty much useless.
As much as I hate to say it, I think we either need to rest before we go in to see if we can, because if we are going into a den of vipers, I would rather go in with all the strength we have.
I
Or
agree.
we give that place a wide berth and try and accomplish anything else we want to do. Like finding somebody who can speak with our departed fuckwad over there.
Just before we sell them off, I mean, we can always use that as an excuse. Oh, we're just here looking for someone because we've got the guy who is responsible for killing, what's their name?
Trellis and
Trellis and
Septia.
Septia. That's the right. Forgettable names because obviously they weren't out for it. Oh, we just have to think of things.
Alright. So we either just go in there non-confrontational and be like, hey, we've got your man. Or
Yeah, but once again, I want to find someone. I need answers from him first. That's where I'm at.
That's
So-
understandable.
If we need to go to some scrupulous areas to find someone to give me those, help me get those answers, that'll be great. But I want some answers before I give them away.
Are those answers more important than saving the lives of living children?
No. We can come back. Son of a bitch. No, the children are always going to come first.
Have I ever seen like the aftermath of this, like kids coming out in robes going places, or have they just sort of gone poof after setting foot inside?
Give me a history check.
All right. That is a 10.
No recollection on your part.
I want to
Alright.
say. I
go
want to
save
say
some
that they'd
kids.
be. Oh, God.
Do you need a rest first? Like, do we need to go rest? I'm not saying rush in there right now, but I'm saying, like, if it's going to be our priority to, like, possibly save some kids, then we need to take the steps to possibly save some kids.
Yes, no, it would be the absolute best thing we could do for me to rest.
Plus, I mean, it's not like it's gonna hurt him to rot for a little bit.
I mean, it won't help, but it was already a smelly fellow.
Question: how long have we been awake?
This is only around noon or something, yeah?
Yeah. I
Oh
would say
God, it's
We've been
early.
6 hours. 6 hours or so. 5, 6 hours.
Okay.
Oh, God, I keep thinking it's later because it's been so long. Well, shit.
This is what happens when you're a go-getter in the morning.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I kind of feel like going in there at night might be a better option for us. Just cover night's always better, but you know, me.
Yeah.
And we can't go for like another 10, 11 hours. Mechanically. Because we've already benefited from a long rest, so we have to wait another cycle.
Well, fuck it. I mean, we can at least go and see what we find, and if it's something that we know we can't take this fight, then we'll have to come back later. But
That or we
We
have to be
could-
prepared.
we can sneak our way through for now.
Ooh. Bullbug just got all free. You want to see if he wants to stretch his legs a bit?
Oh my
Or
God.
maybe full on?
He will murder the cultist. Let's not use the
And?
pissed off slave men. Well, we're not ready for that fight just yet. It's a whole cult, a whole church full of them.
I was going to suggest as well, if we are waiting until nightfall, we may want to bring him up to speed about start thinking about how we are getting Bullbug to the lady.
Maybe we can actually bring the lady to us.
What do you suggest?
She already knows that I'm around, but maybe if we go poking our nose around Stygian Row, she'll kind of get the hint that I want to talk to her, or we want to talk to her, because, I mean, it's not going to be easy getting him through those tunnels. At all.
No, it's not. Not at all.
So, I say we go hit up Stygian Row a little bit.
Okay.
And as horrible as I think, we may also need to be prepared that as much as we want to do, we may not be able to save everyone that is in need around here.
Yeah.
Right. But children.
I'm aware.
All right.
I'm aware.
Look, 5 with us. Let's do this. Oh, where am I gonna park him? Let me go find someone to watch my wagon. I'm just gonna leave it right here.
Hey, Mistrid. Can you watch this for us? Just make sure it doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
You're saying this just so you can hear his voice, aren't you?
No, like it's fine if you stay over there. I just need a yes or no.
And nod will work. Like an up and down. You don't have to actually speak at all. Ever. Watch this. Okay, cool. We're good.
Okay, bye. And then we just start heading out of the Temple District.
Perfect.
You turn to walk away. Mitros be with you!
And with you!
Oh, don't
what a
encourage
goofy
it.
guy.
Don't encourage it.
So, you begin heading down the street out of the Temple District toward the main street that runs east to west through Mitros. Where are you heading precisely?
Back to the cult.
You going to the Temple of Lutheria?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Also, I have one slightly stupid idea when we get to the row.
No ideas are stupid. Remember that, you're on.
I know.
We have yet to prove that one to not be true. So
Once we get to the row, if there is say a manhole or like a sewer entrance, if there's one like slightly off the beaten path, I would like to open it and stick my head in.
Science can show you where many are.
There's one over there. There's one over there.
One that would be used a lot, Zionist.
There's one over there. There's one over there.
Okay, I'm gonna open one. And can someone anchor me, just in case I fall, lean too far forward? And I'm going to full on like lie on my stomach and bend halfway, like hang into the sewer. I want to look and see if there's anyone down there.
I will volunteer to hold your pants. So I grab her pants and just start pushing her down the hole.
All right, so I need a perception check from Euron
Okay.
with disadvantage because it's completely dark. So
Dark vision.
correct, which means in completely dark you would see it as dim light. No, okay, so you're right. You do not have disadvantage on that.
Look,
So
I could
believe
drop a
scared.
torch on her.
You're welcome to do that. Either way,
No,
you give
I'll
me a
do
flat roll.
a dancing light. I'll throw some dancing light.
Okay. So the hustle and bustle of Stygian Row around you, the smells, the noise, the elbowing, the ale and everything else, the very, very suggestive leaning people in the windows lining the rows. You go off the side alley, rip open the manhole cover, dancing light, 4 multicolored lights careen down into the sewer, about 10-15 feet off from where the opening is underneath. Euron gets on her stomach and wiggles down. Lycus grabs her feet and starts to support her weight as she lowers her body halfway in. Perception check from Euron.
She's a
17.
17. Okay. Looking around, you don't see anything in the immediate area around you. The tunnel curves off to the right about 50 feet down. And then nearer to you, it curves back to the north, which is left behind you. But you don't see anything. There's looking down at the bottom, you see some rats scurrying around. You see a bunch of piles of refuse and things, and then the channel at the very base of it's cut deeper. You see a steady trickle of water going in the direction, in the southerly direction around the corner.
Is there anything like a nail stuck into the stonework? Something upon which one could hang a note?
Nothing that you can see, no.
Do you
Now-
need a nail?
The walls are carved stone and smooth, but they're weathered. You could maybe jam something into one of the crevices or something like that.
I may have an idea for getting the lady's attention.
I mean,
I need
I
some-
also have one, but let's see what you got.
Someone to write a note and someone to give me something that I can stick the note into the wall.
What's a fucking note? What the fuck?
I mean, people are patrolling down there.
Exactly.
Like I'm giving birth here. Get the goddamn note written.
Give me an athletics check, Lycus. See how well you're holding up here.
Please crit fail.
That's an 11 plus 1. That's 12.
Okay. Your arms are starting to get sore, but you're holding in there pretty good. As you're kind of standing back watching this scene unfold, Cyanus kind of crouched over next to it, talking to him. Lycus is just huffing and puffing, looking over his shoulder, and you see nothing but thighs and buttocks, and then the rest of Euron's in a hole. You hear very soft padded footsteps walk up slowly next to you, and As you turn to look, you hear, "What are you doing?" And glancing over, you see the same face, the dark hair, the piercing eyes of the woman who was bidding against you for Bullbug at the Minotaur Market.
Sewer inspection! Who the hell are you?
This is probably quiet enough to be out of your earshot, Lycus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I thought it might have been loud enough.
It's okay.
Cyanus! Tell her it's
I don't know. I probably wouldn't answer. Our business is our own.
Right. Well, once you are done your business, my lord would like your presence at his estate at your earliest convenience. He offers to dine with you, and he has a proposal of sorts. So, may I let him know when you'll be arriving?
First, I don't know who your lord is. Second, I do believe we have plans tonight. So, how does tomorrow evening sound?
I will let Lord Nordigon know.
Yeah.
He turns and kind of darts out into the street very quietly and quickly blends in with the crowd and disappears.
Cyanus, do you have a
Okay.
pen?
Oh, I got it. What do you want? What do you want it to say?
Something about how the heroes would like to speak to
Heroes,
them.
Titans Rest, come.
Please add a. We're not animals. Be
PLZ.
polite.
Pass down the note.
All right. Anyone got a python or a nail or something?
And then I just toss her one of my caltrops.
I would like to try and pin this. Find like a crack in the stone. I want to try and pin the note to the wall.
Okay. You're strong enough, you could probably pretty easily jam it and scrape it into where it'll stick. It would be more along the ceiling, because you can barely reach underneath what is the roof of the sewer.
Then I'd like right next to like where a handhold would be if
That's fine.
If somebody's climbing up out of the sewer.
Yeah, so reach over and jam it in there. Scraping sound kind of echoes through the sewers around you, and it seems you tug on it a little bit. Seems steady.
All right.
Alright, now if you're done here,
I'm done. Help me up.
I know they used to have this my little group that I'd always hang out with down there. We always did this thing where if we were coming down or if we wanted to try getting someone's attention, we'd do this thing. So give me some space. And then I just like get down, put my head in the manhole cover. I'm just like, tunnel snakes.
You fucking nerd! I love you.
I have no idea what you're referencing.
It's from Fallout.
Oh, couldn't get in it.
You shout out the call. You hear softly echoing throughout the sewers around you. Tunnel snakes, 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 snakes. You hear what sounds like a splash of movement from somewhere deeper. Everything kind of echoing around you. Can't tell if it's coming from the north or the south. You don't see anything though. And just as soon as it was there, flash was gone.
Gotcha. Well, they should have heard that. They'll get the message. On to the next bit.
Pop back up. Close the manhole.
I want to get off this fucking street.
Do
I
I
just
smell?
start like.
The bronze manhole cover goes back into place. Well, you look around, dust yourselves off a little bit.
Do I smell?
Everything smells.
Stygian row is pretty rank, just kind of in general. I wouldn't say you get the idea that you smell any worse after doing that. No,
You weren't in the sewer.
no.
I suppose. I never know. I never set foot down there.
Alright. Well, they should be, hopefully, maybe on their way. They'll find our note. And,
Kind of quiet, Austin.
oh, sorry. Yeah, I was kind of... off to the side. All right, so yeah, they probably heard that. They're probably on their way. They're gonna find that note, probably take it to them, and hopefully later, maybe we'll see them.
Good luck.
All right.
I'm just heaving on the floor, like nobody gives a damn the fact that she's heavy as fuck in solid plate armor, and my little ass just went ahead and goaded her down that hole. Yeah, sure. Y'all just go ahead and have a moment.
Lycus, I will, the moment we have free time, I know we are not actually going to the sewers, but remember I said I'd get you the platinum package at the bathhouse?
I do recall such agreement.
We didn't end up going into the sewers, but you are I know that was an effort. Next time we have free time.
Okay.
Full course of the bathhouse, my treat.
Is that like massages and everything?
Massages. They use this like they warm these stones to like try and loosen muscles. There's fancy oils. There's so many. There's more things in that bathhouse than I can quite explain. And sometimes, depending on who you ask or get when you go into the bathhouse, and I'm not sure if this is actually true or not. This was just a story I heard. Apparently, if you ask the right person, you can even get like a special surprise at the end.
Oh, did they do they'll shave my hooves?
I was thinking.
Oh, will they shave my hooves?
It's a surprise.
You toe people have no idea how comfortable it is when someone shaves your hooves. Oh, I'm so ready for this.
I need context. I need so much fucking context.
I hold up my hoof. They shave your hoof.
You see, we have hooves.
How the fuck do you shave Ina, how do you shave a hoof?
Literally the entire party is full of hoofed folk except for you. And we're all just like, yeah, shaved hooves, yeah.
Julia, for context, note has been left in there, got up, Cyanus bed down into the sewer and yelled tunnel snakes to try and signal his friends. Now that's done. And Euron has offered to buy Lycus the full platinum package at the bathhouse. And I was trying to make a joke, and Josh took it a whole nother direction.
No, I saw where you were going with that.
You know where I was going with that, exactly.
I was biting my lips so hard.
Not yet, you're not.
Shut up! Oh, no.
So, where to next?
Exactly.
I mean, look, I'm beat. I'm hungry. That fucking fight took it out of me. Let's go get some food. Kind of debrief.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go get some lunch, and then we'll go invade the city. Or the cult, sorry.
Up in the Great Market. Let's try out around there, see if they got anything nice. Because I just don't want tavern food right now. We've had that every night this week.
There's this old grandfather who used to have a booth in the corner of the market. He made the most amazing meat skewers.
Meat skewers?
He called it souvlaki or something. Very good, and had this nice sauce to dip it in. I mean, sometimes depending on the day, he even included the bread with it, so.
Very well. Let's get some skewers.
Opa souvlaki it is.
Alright. So, Heading back up through the crowded, tumultuous streets of Stygian Row, you take the market road up to the Great Agora, and as the scene fades from the more ramshackle, tight, ill-repaired buildings, the noble district opens up to the beautifully crafted, large buildings that you are so familiar with. Passing up through the commerce gates into the noble district itself, rounding about, you see the Vault of Thylee on your right, the beautiful tree rising up out of the middle, off in the distance a little bit, and then immediately to your left, the Great Agora. Just as you pass the gate, someone on the other side, two young acolytes dressed in gray togas, approach you. One has crystal blue eyes, and he approaches you with his hands folded together and bows his head. Fine day to all of you. Maybe please, if you don't mind, ask you for a donation to the Temple of the Five. We have been coming up short as of late, and rely on the generosity of the good people of Mitros and her visitors to keep things running and provide all the services that we do.
Well, you guys aren't affiliated to either Sidon or Lutheria, so here you go.
As
Do I Oh,
I was gonna say, as you say, you don't recognize either of them, Lycus, if that's what you're gonna ask me.
no, I was gonna say their garb. Because we've been to the Church of the Five Gods and stuff, you know, so it's like...
They have some of the younger, less advanced ones. The white is for like the priests of Mitros and the clerics, but more of the everyday serving hands, helping hands. They wear nondescript, well fitted and well made, but nondescript, simple gray togas. So this is common. You're familiar with this.
That's what I was making sure.
Yeah. As Cyanus says that you're not affiliated with Lutheria or Sidon, you hear and then see up from the left-hand side of your view the cerulean cape and the dark armor of a captain of the Order of Sidon walk through both of them directly in front of you and kind of shove them roughly off on the ground to your left. As he walks by, he stares at you as Cyanus was handing the donation out. He glares at you, looks over, and spits on them, and keeps walking out of the commerce gate down into the heart of
Oh, hey,
Mitros.
dickbag!
I trap him.
Oh. You can settle her first.
I mean, I was gonna yell out something at him too.
You didn't think that was just gonna pass us by without something, huh?
I trip him and make it look like an accident.
Okay.
Oh, I was totally not gonna make it an accident.
All right. Trip it and make it look like an accident.
Is that like, you know, and then your foot goes up?
That, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Like that kind of.
Are you sorry?
Oh no, I didn't know that was gonna happen.
So I'm gonna need.
What do you need?
So you're making it look like an accident. I'm gonna need a performance check.
Fuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's
Okay. Guys, pray for me.
Brian.
What'd you do?
Take a guess.
That's a
two.
1.
Yeah, +1. So that was
So
a
it's a-
natural 1. Yep.
So, as he turns to walk, you see Euron jut out her leg, the bronze shin guard, capturing his, and he stumbles and kind of face plants for a moment, catching himself almost in a push-up position. And as he looks over his shoulder with a furious look in his eyes, his lips turn into a vicious snarl. You see Euron kind of slowly drag her leg back like she's trying to play it off, but it really comes off as more of a ha 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 kind of a thing,
Did I do that?
where she's flaunting.
Did I do that? I'm
see him-
so sorry. Are you okay?
You see him push up rapidly, and as he does so, he whips out his he whips out a long spear from behind his back, and he points it up inches from your face. And you can tell it's not an attack, so you don't react viciously at this moment yet.
Yeah, no, it's a
But
show of force.
He whips his spear out directly inches away from Euron's face, and he says, "I would have your head if it were not more of a curse for you to keep it, hag. Mind your feet."
I will take the edge of the spear and I will put it directly to my throat, and I will give him a look and just say, and just smile and go, "Are you really sure you are in a position to make such demands, boy?"
I mean, he's literally just gotta be like, boop.
Give me an intimidation check.
You could Medusa the shit out of him at this point, too.
Do you feel in control?
Alright, come on, baby. Yes! 16 plus 4, that's a dirty 20.
Damn. He holds it for a moment. Slowly begins to lower back towards his side, keeping it at the ready. I know your faces, and I know who you are. You will get what's coming to you.
I will remember
He turns and
yours,
huffs.
child.
He puffs off. What'd you say?
I'll remember yours, child. Run back to your father.
He stalks off in a fury, his metal boots clanking on the ground as he turns the corner.
I thought the moist boys were supposed to keep all their moisture with them.
Jesus Christ.
Because he spat.
That is not at all what that sounded like, Austin.
Sure. I mean, that's what I was going for, but take it however you want.
Well, help the two acolytes up and offer something for them to wipe off the spit.
They take your hand, and as you still go to offer it, they put your hand away and they take their sleeve and just kind of wipe it. Gracious thanks to each of you. May trust be with you. That was the third time today. But again, thank you. We shall be on our way to calmer areas now. And they go and walk off the opposite direction that the captain of the Order of Sidon went in.
Man, what a pack of douche. What a pack of douchebags. All the side on.
You forgot the word bag there, buddy. You forgot the
No,
word
I know.
bag.
Look, I've been up since like 6 today. I'm very tired.
So,
You
to the
think
Great
he
Agora?
forgot it. You think
Sorry.
he did.
Maybe I was making a euphemism
Alright.
for, hey, he's an elf.
So, have we ever seen that fool before? Like,
You have
ever
seen him. You have seen him traveling with Gaius. You saw him in Astoria, and you saw him again
Okay.
at the Great Palace of Mitros.
Okay, so yeah, he knows who we are. We know who he travels with. He's just not some douchebag in a Sidon outfit. Well, I mean, he is, but he's not just some random. He's known. Okay.
Indeed.
I'm going, yeah, I'm ingraining that fucker's face into my memory.
Fair enough. So, continuing on your way to the Great Agora, you enter through the colonnades, and you see all the stalls around you, people milling about as is normal. The 5 god statues around the edges, and the much larger statue of Sidon in the middle, lording over everything. Nothing unfamiliar here. Many people purchasing cows and goats and sheep and fish and meat and wine and cheese and all that good stuff. You glancing off to your left and your right, you see Grimmick's Armory, which you are very well familiar with, and several other shops that you haven't been to before. You see the food vendor that Euron was referring to over a little bit off to your left-hand side there. So, walk up and go over there. He recognizes you at once. Oh, welcome. Yes, one moment. And he goes and pulls out a couple of skewers and hands them all to you. He has a nice little dipping sauce with it. And you begin eating, surrounded by the Great Agora.
Man, this is really fucking good.
No. He may not remember, but I've been going here since I was a child.
I mean, it's okay. It's not a pheasant, but, you know, it works.
But not everything needs to be a pheasant like us.
But they're the best!
I keep hearing you guys talk about this pheasant.
The best. No, it's a kebab. You know, it's edible. You know.
I'll see about that.
Okay, so what's the plan?
Licking my teeth with
we
the
finish
skewer.
this. Yeah, so we finish this, and then we're gonna go investigate the Cult of Lutheria, and then from there, save the kids, then home for dinner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yay. Nay.
Yeah.
Sound about
I'd
right.
say the same. Yeah.
All right.
By the way, dinner has been arranged tomorrow night over at the Rich Lord's house.
Lord Nerdigon invited us.
Well, technically, pale-faced, raven-haired lady did, but she says she's his mouthpiece. So he wishes to dine with us.
Oh.
Was there a reason for it? Or...
I didn't ask.
No. Well, I
Always
guess you
wanted-
get to pull out the fanciest clothes you own.
Always wanted to see
I'm
the
wearing
inside of
them.
that place.
I look forward to it. All right. Who's ready to go invade the cult?
And then I'm just like in the back of the group, just like doing my stretches and everything. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Could at any point we argue that we've lazed around enough for a short rest?
Sure, no.
We could easily
Sure.
do a short rest. That's just
Yes.
an hour of not doing anything.
Yes, you're welcome
I
to
am
have
the
a short
DM
rest.
now.
Thank you.
Oh, look at me! I am the DM now.
I heard that. That's fine.
All right.
All right, DM, what are we doing?
Go to the Cult of Lutheria. Look at that shit. They're all dead. Everyone's level 7.
Surprise!
Alright.
So, as the juices from the kebab are just getting wiped off of your chin, you're looking around the market, taking in the fresh air. Breathe deep a moment and resolve yourselves to head towards the Temple of Lutheria. Making your way back down the streets of Mitros through Stygian Row, you find yourselves, before you even know it, standing at the dark, ornate, large Temple of Lutheria. Same scene as earlier today. Nobody really milling about on the outside. The doors seem locked. Everybody seems to be kind of keeping their space around it, and as you approach that, a slightly unsettled feeling creeps into your heart, remembering that Cyanus poked his finger on a poison needle, and Lycus heard footsteps, but then discovered there was no one there and everything seemed abandoned. Looking up this dark structure, you glance at each other, and that's where we're going to take a break. So, he's standing in front of the Temple of Lutheria. All the sounds of Stygian Row kind of just fade away as you take in this temple and consider your next move. The doors before you are closed. The side alleys, glancing over quickly, look empty, much as they were earlier in the day when you approached. So what would you like to do?
We're gonna go back around the door that I had opened.
Because
It's
we're
a side
trying to be
entrance we know
as
we can get in.
subtle about this as possible.
Now, before we were like, hold that cart right there. You home? You know. Now we're looking now.
Got it.
I'm almost considering if it's worth it for me to take off some of my armor so I can be sneakier.
Keep it on. Because knowing these fuckers, there's gonna be some bad shit down there. Like, I can feel it. Like, in my core.
It's kind of like when you hit a save point in the middle of a cave with a shopkeeper full of health potions. Why
Look
would
at
I
all
need
these-
these?
Look at all these health packs, and it's auto-saving.
Yeah, strange.
Why
So-
is
Why's
it
the
Latin?
music shifting?
Yeah, why is the music shifting?
So approaching the door, you see it is closed. Nothing seems disturbed on the outside. The same Barrels of refuse and trash and things stand here in the alley. You creep up to the door, look it over real quick. Everything looks undisturbed, as in it blends very well with the walls, you remember. You give it a slight push. It doesn't give. You try the handle slightly. Seems locked.
The bullshit it is! I broke that lock. No, I didn't. I magically broke it. Hey, wasn't there a poison dart or something?
There was a needle that came out and jabbed Cyanus in the finger, and DM told Cyanus that he was poisoned. And Lycus assumed Cyanus might be poisoned, so he cast Lesser Restoration. Which is fine.
Wait, so he wasn't poisoned?
No, he was. You just didn't know that. I was making fun of you metagaming, that's all.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Well, I figure any needle pops out, you poisoned.
You're fine. You're fine.
I want to see if it's been reset.
So you're gonna go check it out?
Yeah.
Give me an investigation check. Glancing at it, you do not see a needle sticking out. No.
Oh yeah, that makes me even more nervous. 15.
15. Knowing what to look for, I would say you have advantage, but 15 is good enough. Doesn't matter. Knowing what to look for, you see the hole where the needle is supposed to come out, and you see that the daylight barely tipping the needle inside. It seems to have been reset.
Oh. I'm gonna plug that because I know that son of a bitch is gonna open up when he fails what I tell him he's about to do. So, Cyanus, I need you to pop this baby open.
I got it.
Mind the needle this time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and plug that right there. Stuff some waddle leather right in there. You might want to wear your good gloves.
No, I start going to pick at it. And let's see. What would this be? What would this roll be?
This would be it would be a Thieves' Tool check. It's your dexterity check plus proficiency because you're proficient in Thieves' Tool, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a 13.
13. So put your Thieves' Tools in there and you hear that same metallic thunk, and the needle pops into the cloth. You see it burst for a minute, keeping your hands clear. The lock doesn't seem to release, but the trap has sprung.
Well, no needle this time, so yay my hands.
I just look it up in pure disappointment. Like, this is literally the second time.
Look, I didn't do this that often.
May I try?
I mean, yeah, sure. Why
Really?
not? Let's have the guard break into a place.
Well,
So,
if it works, then it'll be funny.
So I know our standing rule about repeating checks, Thieves' Tools checks, stuff like that. You can repeat those if you want.
Okay. Let me get out of here. Try this one more time. Yeah. Well, that one was a 15, so
15. Attempting to find the perfect space, it doesn't really come to you, but you feel a groove from where you've been working it so much, and it kind of slides in, and then almost by surprise, you hear a different hollower clunk, and the handle kind of slightly releases a little bit.
It's like, oh, I meant to do that.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I've seen my other dudes do this. I'm getting there. Roll again.
It's unlocked. The handle popped free.
All right.
Is someone typing?
Oh, that's me. Yeah, I'm typing.
All right. In we go. Open sesame.
All right. Who's going in first?
I can see in the dark. I'll go
I
first.
can't.
I'll reluctant have go first, but I'm making Cyanus come behind me.
And then I've just
You
got
got
my hand on her shoulder.
Bring you all
Yay,
in there.
Map.
All right, so everything seems relatively unchanged in here. The same dark hallways with the slight torchlight down the nearest one to your left. The hallway directly in front of you as you enter the door is completely dark. The doors that you had opened previously, I'm not sure if you closed them or not, honestly, but they are closed now. Maybe you don't recall yourselves. The doors down the hallway seem to be completely closed. It's really hard to see. Euron can tell that with everything being so dark in here. You do see a faint bit of light coming from the doors on the right-hand side of the hallway to the south of you, coming from beneath them.
Light, whispering. Everything Euron's gonna say from this point is whispering. And she's gonna say, light under the door ahead. So, would like to move very slow and sneaky down towards I can't tell which door. This door, I think. Is it the door I'm standing by here?
So there are 3 doors on your left and 3 doors on your right down this hall going to the south. I'm going to go ahead and bring Lycus and Ina in.
Oh, yeah. So I was trying to figure out. I was like, why can't I get in?
There's a built-in wall there. So I brought you both in. Lycus, you're completely surrounded by darkness except for the torchlight off to your left down that hallway. You may see some faint, darker shapes of Cyanus and Euron up ahead. There's 3 doors on your right, Euron, 3 doors on your left. Lycus, you recognize these. The doors on the right were the rooms that had the various scrolls and ancient legend lore and illustrations and things like that devoted to the worship of Lutheria. The doors on the left, when you last came in here, were the ones in this southern hallway directly in front of your character. Those were locked, and then so were the doors to your left down that hallway, which your character's left, so to the east, the right on the map.
Okay. And you said there was light peeking out from one of the doors?
The light is peeking out. Looks like candlelight, and like as you would remember that there is candles lit in the rooms on the left-hand side on the map.
I remember. It was as if someone had been reading and then just got up and left.
Correct.
I
need everybody to roll a stealth check, please.
Stealth check.
Disadvantage. Shit.
21.
That's yeah.
Science rolled a 21. You're on. What you got?
4.
4. Okay. Lycus?
12.
12.
I'm getting another set of dice. This is bullshit.
I know.
I rolled a 12 as well.
So, walking down that first hall, you come to the passageway on your left, about halfway down the hall you're on. And as you peek around to the left, you don't see anybody. You see that the room is lit on the interior, and you peel away from the wall to continue down that hallway. Your shield kind of makes a grating sound against the wooden wall as you turn away, and you stop for a second and cringe. And you
like
listen.
what I'm doing right now?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me your perception check.
Alright, metal dice, don't fail me. I said don't fail me, you son of a bitch! That's an 8. You're going in dice jail. Okay.
From your left, down that passageway into the bigger room in the center of the temple, you hear what sounds almost like a soft sound of paper, like a book closing, and muffled footsteps from within that central chamber, walking in your direction.
Back up, back up, back up, back up.
Where I back up.
will put my shield away this once and like try and find a corner to hide behind. So, yeah.
So the hallway you're standing in, that would be the hallway you were looking down when you made the noise.
Oh shit!
So you would
Back up.
naturally, oops,
That's
you would
elementary.
naturally back up all the way down that hallway. Making sense. Or you could try and peel into one of the doors. Up to you.
I'm gonna back up down the hallway that you said I might.
That would be where you heard the sound from. Let me move
Son
you
of a
back.
bitch. Okay.
Let me move you back.
Yep. This one. Yep. Thank you.
There you go. Okay. So, backing up quickly, you kind of scurry back down the hallway as quietly as you can, keeping your eyes ahead. And you hear the footsteps from the central chamber come down that midway passage, and they stop. You hear them slightly echoing up ahead, and the soft rustle of clothing as though somebody's standing there, maybe glancing around for a moment. 10 seconds, 15 seconds, and then the soft padded footsteps retreat back into the central chamber.
Okay, someone quieter than me needs to go first.
And I'm
I don't
like,
think it's gonna matter. If you start making scraping noises. Cyanus, you want to take the point on this one?
yeah, I got it. Just give me a sec. Let me. All right, let's do this.
You beautiful son of a bitch!
All right.
That's what I'm fucking talking about.
All right. So just sneak up to the corner, and then I just peer around. Like, do I see anything? Do I see anyone?
Dun, 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 dun,
Okay.
dun, 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 dun.
Feeling you have to kind of feel your way along the hallway because you can't see anything. You get to the point where your hand crosses around that passageway, and you glance into the left into the central chamber. You see is lit up by a torch on the opposite side of the room in front of you. You see the barrels and the one of the benches that's right there in the center of the room, but you don't see anybody or anything else. You give me a perception check, since I'm assuming you would be listening as well.
Yep. That's a 19.
19. Okay. Staying there, looking over, you hear the soft sound of ruffling pages, as though maybe somebody is thumbing through a book or some other type of parchment. But then you also hear a muffled from behind you, the door right next to you, that the light is coming up underneath.
Like, the door is still closed, though, yeah?
The door is closed, yes.
Okay. So, I know there's at least people here. Can Guron see my hands?
Euron
From
can see
where
you
I
just
am.
fine, and you would know that Euron can see you, yes.
So I just hold up two hands. I hold up two fingers, and I'm like, one over there, one over there.
I will very quietly relay that information to the other two.
Easy enough.
All right. Do I take him out or not?
Is there any other passageway? Like a different route?
I mean, I don't see anything. There's just this open room. Unless
Okay.
there's anything over on the other side.
Let me give you guys a quick refresher on the layout of the temple you would remember from when you came in here. Coming in the front doors into the
God,
largest...
this is getting hot.
Coming into the
I was
front
gonna
door...
say you live in fucking Florida.
It's
in the
wool,
largest central chamber. There is midway down the largest central chamber, there's a passageway on either side. Okay? When you were given the tour out of that central chamber, coming from the front door, mind you, you went down the passageway to the right, and you came to a T. Off to your right and left, there was a series of doors. You turned left, you went all the way to the corner. You turned left at the corner, and then you were looking down this hallway that most of you are now in, the one with the torch on that long wall in the center. Here. And then you continued down past those two doors on the back wall, and came to the corner you're standing in now, turned left again, and proceeded down this hallway that Euron and Cyanus are in. And then you came back to the passageway that goes back into the central chamber that Cyanus is kind of standing at right now. So it's kind of like a rectangle with a central hall, 2 middle passageways, and then a U-shaped walkway around the back. And there's rooms on both sides and on the back of the temple. Does that help you guys at all? I hope. Maybe not.
Do we have a clue which way it would be?
What do you mean? I don't know what you're looking for. What are you looking for?
Any indication there was a basement type thing or a ceremonial hall where this thing would have taken place?
Where
I
was
remember
that?
I remember Septia or Trellis saying something. This is Arya remembering that there was a spot where there was like, oh, that's where rituals happen. People don't go down there. Sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a room they didn't let us look in.
Yeah.
Where...
The Eastern Hall was bunks and food stores and stuff like that. The Western Hall you're in now was basically all studying and research stuff. And then the 2 back rooms they said was administrative and for rituals and things like that.
All right, so it's probably in the back. All right. Let's not go here. Just gonna back up. Let's try those doors in that back hall.
Okay. The back hall would be the one that Lycus and the Eye are in right now.
Yep.
Okay. Make sure you understand.
All right. So there's 2 dudes in there. At least 2 guys out that way. I remember they said rituals and stuff happened in one of these rooms. They didn't let us in. That has to be where they're at. It's
Okay.
and then I'd go over to let's go for the left door first. And I'm gonna use my mirror to try and look under the door, see if I can see anything.
Sure.
What's behind door number 1? Is it a car?
Move your token a little bit.
Gotcha.
All right. So you see Sinus ruffle his bag a little bit, take out a mirror, it catches the torchlight, and slide the mirror underneath a very narrow crack underneath this wooden door. As soon as it enters underneath, you lose it in shadow, and peering around, you don't see anything. That room seems to be completely dark.
All right. Nothing in that one. Let's see what's behind door number 2. Same deal.
Okay. Do the same under this door, repeating it. As soon as you pass the mirror under this one, it catches a flicker of candlelight. Turning it, you can see from your angle, there seems to be some books on a shelf, a tall shelf to your left-hand side. Across the room is like a desk, and then another larger, longer desk to the right of that. And then right next to you, kind of blocking your view of the rest of the room, there's a cupboard of sorts that the candle seems to be resting on.
That looks administrative. Let's go back to door number 1 and open it very, very slowly.
Okay. Go to push on the handle. It seems locked.
That's where they keep the pet ogre.
All right. Let's try this again. Thieves' tools.
You got this, buddy.
That's a 15.
15. You go to manipulate the lock, and you feel it start to give. And at the last moment, it kind of slips out of the position, and it doesn't release. You're very, very close.
Come on. All right. I got this. 22.
22. Take a deep breath, wipe the sweat off your eyes. Your hands start shaking. You focus yourself, calm them. It slides in smoothly, and momentarily later, the lock releases. The handle pops up a little bit. It's unlocked.
Just very slowly gonna creak it ajar, trying to actually see if there's anything in there.
Okay. As you slowly open the door, it doesn't squeak, seems well oiled. The torchlight from behind you pierces the darkness within, and you see right next to you a barrel. Seems about 3 feet tall, large barrel. No telling what it's holding. It's sealed up well. And that's opening it a few inches to see inside. Everything else in the room you can tell is completely pitch black.
I'll creep up on him at some point and be like, "What do you got?"
Dark room and looks like a office.
Do you want some light in there?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I want to pop dancing lights, but I'll keep like 3 of them under my jacket.
Okay.
And then one of them will be like, boop, right in that office.
No problem. What color?
Purple.
Purple.
Because of Lutheria.
Snazzy.
Well, what color are the torches? I figured they would be kind of purpley.
They're normal red fire torches.
Ah, that's just lame. We're going with purple because we're cool like that.
You got it. So, opening up the door a little bit more, the purple dancing light hovers in the center. You see, at first glance, there appears to be a large barrel stacked on some crates. Across the room from you, a couple more barrels, some crates and sacks off to the right-hand side. Appears to be a storage room.
Something about this doesn't sit right with me. Gonna go in.
Okay. Enter the room. Go ahead. Look around. Give me an investigation check.
That's an 18.
18. Looking around, don't really see anything. As the dancing light is bobbing up and down, you see the shadows off of the crates kind of wavering in the arcane light. But then you notice it appears to be a scuff mark on the floor where dust has been disturbed recently in the far right corner. Peering over gingerly and quietly, you see a latch in a very, very well hidden trapdoor beneath one of the largest crates in the back corner.
All right. I stick my head out the door and I'm like, hey guys, guess what I found? Need some help.
The treasure room? And I creep in there with him.
Okay. As he goes in, Lycus creeps in behind him. You're on, Ina, what are y'all doing?
I'll move like down the hallway towards them, but I'm not ready to go in that room.
Okay.
I'll just kind of stand in the doorway.
I will also. I'll maybe kind of gently butt past. Yeah, you take one side of the door, I'll take the other.
There's a door under that box. You and me. Let's move that thing. Take one side, I'll take the other.
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay.
Grab that in.
So both of you grabbing, this is a heavy box. What's y'all's strength scores?
Magnificent.
You're funny.
Enough. It's strong enough to call Ina quietly, like
Okay.
silently.
Okay. I'll enter the room.
Ina, since Lycus and Cyanus entered that room, you haven't heard anything from them.
Oh, I thought they called me. I'm sorry.
He did.
But I don't hear it.
Nope.
Oh.
That's concerning.
You don't hear it either, you're on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna poke my head out and try like getting their attention.
Like, hey, pay attention.
Out of
Yes?
nowhere,
I
you see
paid
Cyanus'
attention.
head pops out, and you're just kind of takes you aback because you didn't hear him coming at all.
Hey, did you not hear us?
No!
We were trying to get your attention. Like, we kind of need some help in there.
We have not heard a peep out of you two since you went inside.
I've gone into the Three Amigos mode. Ah! Look at me! 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 Ah!
None
I
of
don't know if
you
you ever-
hear. None of you hear this.
You know.
Hold on, hold on. Cyanus, go back inside for a second. And
Hey,
say,
You would see Lycus in the purple light making these movements and everything, and his mouth moving, but no sounds coming.
Lycus, what the fuck are you doing? Are you in? Is that a new interpretive dance?
Lycus, you don't hear her either.
Okay, I'll go in because Lygus is acting a fool. Cyanus took
Okay.
his head out.
I don't understand why you just won't walk in the damn door at this point. It's ridiculous. Just open the damn door. Just come in. How many times I gotta call you?
What the fuck are you saying?
As you walk through the barrier, Ina, you hear Lycus's voice coming to you as his mouth has been moving this whole time.
Oh.
Thank you. Good God, I thought we were gonna call the whole cult down.
You can't hear anything out in the hallway from this room.
Well, not if you're not listening.
Well, we
No,
see
like,
you,
you
but we don't
literally
hear
can't.
you.
I look purposefully and just go, Lycus, Lycus, can you hear me?
Why is she mouthing me?
Like
This
it was like a dream. We were out in that hallway, and for the first time in like a month, I couldn't hear your voice.
Oh, so there's like a silence thing going on at the door.
I'll step
Yeah, there
inside.
must be.
Oh, well, that makes perfect sense then.
Okay,
Let me
so
in.
what do you guys need help with?
There's a door under that box. I'm very new to Larmy.
I need you to
I need
kick
you
the
to help
shit out of
me.
this box, especially because they can't hear us.
Okay, I'll move the box.
All right, give me an athletics check.
19.
19. All right, your hands slip a little bit on the wood, but they find purchase and you scrape it along the floor. It doesn't make a lot of sound, surprisingly, but slowly pull it back, revealing the remainder of the trapdoor. And you see the bronze ring on one side that Cyanus saw when he first came in there.
Y'all going down?
Ta-da! I mean, I'll take point. No one better than Lutheria's chosen.
There you go.
Oh, we could use that. Totally, we could use that.
Well, no, Lutheria wants him dead. That doesn't
Yeah, but
exactly
she's
help.
also the only person that's talked to me. Well, I'm the only person that's talked to her.
And she did send him back when he had died, so. I don't think Lutheria knows what she wants.
After you.
Women.
Believe me, I'm very fucking aware. Oh my god.
All right, so make my way down the hole. What do I see?
Pull the trapdoor open and it reveals at the very top with the purple light, you can see a set of wooden stairs descending down into pitch black darkness.
I
If I
pull my
squint-
axe out at this point, just to have it.
I will throw my lights down there.
Okay. More lights come down. Creep down the first couple of stairs and look around Zionus. As these purple ethereal lights are bobbing close to the ceiling beneath the room, you see Lycus's head come down a little bit just so he can help guide them around. You see a large square chamber that seems to be cut out of the rock directly beneath the Temple of Lutheria. There are torches along the walls that are unlit, but they have been lit, and you smell the musky, smoky scent of torches that were burning relatively recently, like it's built up in this room. Along the sides of the walls, you see a series of beds off to your right, and benches on the far wall away from you, and off to your right, a series of chairs. But these chairs are made out of the black onyx-like metallic substance that you've seen kind of scattered throughout the Temple of Lutheria. In the center of the room, there is a large ornate table, same black hard substance, and several dark candelabras that are also unlit, and various strange arcane implements and symbols kind of carved into the table, some scroll off to the left, and kind of set off to the right hand, a large bowl that seems to have some type of liquid in it. As your eyes adjust, you see subtle movement on your left-hand side near the beds. And as your eyes adjust with the purple light, you see that there are small figures, many of them, about a dozen, kind of huddled up on the beds against the dark walls, blending in with the shadows, darkly cloaked, sitting near each other, their arms crossed around their knees. Some of them are kind of laid out or curled up. And some of them seem to be staring at these lights floating around the ceiling nervously, and you see a couple of eyes looking at you, the purple light reflecting off of their eyes as they look at you.
Perfect time. Yep.
That is the best face a curious kid could ever make.
Am I back?
Yeah.
Now you're
There we
good.
go.
I like whenever you come back in and then we just get a fast forward of everything you said.
Yeah, it catches up.
What was the last thing you heard?
Some of the kids were staring at the purple lights floating overhead.
Okay. And the rest of them were looking at Cyanus. You could see their eyeballs reflecting that purple light back at you. And they seem hesitant to do anything besides just kind of sit there and look at you and look at the lights and not really moving or reacting.
I just put a finger up to my lips and I'm like, and then I point to one of them and I'm like, I need your help. Just got a question. What'd they make you do down here?
They're about 20 feet away or so. As you point to the nearest one, he realizes you're pointing at him, and you see his head subtly shake no, very slowly.
Cyanus?
Found the kids.
Let me down. I'll join him as quietly as a snake woman covered in armor can.
Okay.
And
You see the same thing, and looking at you, some of them kind of startle a little bit.
I'll
And
try and maybe
huddle a little
before
closer
I
together.
jump down, smooth the snake's back so they sort of look like hair.
A for
It's
effort,
dark.
sure.
It's
Yeah,
dark.
A for effort. You, with your dark vision, you can see a little bit better into the shadowy areas that aren't illuminated by the purple lights. You see in the nearby corners on either side of the wooden stairs heading down into this thing, glancing around. You see a couple of areas that seem to be scattered with bones. But these are not child-sized bones. These are large, adult-sized bones, humanoid bones. And they don't appear to be aged and dried out. They slightly glisten in the shadows, as though they're still wet.
I'm gonna I'll kind of go shift a little bit past Cyanus and crouch down, keep my hands away from my sword, and whichever one is closest, I'm just gonna be very gentle, pull out and say, like, it's all right, little one. We're not here to hurt you. Are you okay?
She seems to be almost in shock. Like her mouth starts to move, her eyes shining brightly in the purplish light, and after a moment, she wills herself to make sound. I just I don't. What are they gonna do to us? We want to go home.
Nothing. Because we're gonna get you out of here.
Wait, we've come to take you home, little ones. We've come to take you home.
Who are we gonna live with?
We'll figure that out. Don't worry. What's your name, darling?
Clara.
Hello, Clara. That's a lovely name. My name's Euron. This is my friend Cyanus. We're going to come take you home, okay?
Are you going to take care of us?
We're gonna help you.
We're gonna do the best we can to help you, okay?
But first things first, we need you and the rest of your friends follow us and be very, very quiet.
Is that all of them? Are there anywhere else?
Is this everyone that was with you?
Yes, this is everybody that came with me.
Okay. All right. Well, say, come on, darling. I'll pass you up.
She hesitantly crawls up quietly and starts going past you to the stairs, and then one by one they slowly work their way up, and you notice as they get to the foot of the stairs they kind of hesitate for a moment, and then they seem to kind of summon the will to quickly go up the stairs, and as they do so, some to the left, some to the right, they all kind of look out at the ground at the base of the stairs where the bones lie before they scurry up to the room above.
I will be focusing on, like, it's all right, come on, and working on trying to get the kids out.
Yeah, and in the room above, Lycus, Ina, when these kids start coming out one at a time, the room's getting more and more and more cramped to where between the boxes and the barrels, you're kind of struggling to move. So you kind of at one point would have to start moving them out into the hallway to make more room for other people coming up.
Can I just stack them on top of the boxes? How tall are these boxes?
That's reasonable. You could pick them up and do that, sure. Some of them
Okay.
2 feet, some 5 feet. It just depends.
Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna put them on top of the box. I'd rather us all like stay in this hallway. I mean, stay in this room where they can't hear us in the hallway.
Sure.
All right. I make sure the room down there is clear, and then I'm like, look, everyone, gonna play a game. Whoever stays the quietest gets a shiny gold. Now follow us.
You don't get much reaction from them. They kind of nod in acceptance. Now some of them, as they're sitting there, and shudder a little bit. Some start whimpering. Some just seem completely dead to the world, glassy-eyed. But they do as you say, following. Everybody give me a stealth check. I'm going to average them out for the children.
Before we go up as well, I want to take a look at those bones. And the table.
Okay.
I rolled an 18 for stealth.
Okay.
18. Thank you. You have redeemed yourself.
17.
21.
Very nice.
The kids are moving like mice as you scurry them along, their bare feet barely making any type of sound at all. Euron, however, a little bit clanky, but she manages to control herself for the most part, sensing the sensitivity of the situation. You can quickly scurry them out the back door into the back alley. You'd have to kind of tuck them around the boxes back there, otherwise they'd be plainly visible from the street. Once you get them all back there, they follow you out. Euron was going to stay down there to look at some things. Who's going with the kids? Who's staying in the room?
I'm gonna run all these kids up to the Temple of the Five.
Okay, so you go out the back with the kids real quick. I'm just talking about immediately right now, but I got you. So you went outside with the kids. Lycus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna help because I have the light, so I'm gonna help explore the room. Just kind of provide the light as needed, and then when we're ready to go, we'll just bug out.
You got it. Ina? You're muted.
Muted.
Oh, I want to go down. Like, I'm ready to fight whoever, like, took these kids.
Okay, so you're going to go down to the room?
Yeah, I'm going to go down.
Okay, so Cyanus, he scurries off down the hallway. You see him look to the left and to the right and kind of waves the kids out the back door and gives them some silent instructions to go around the back behind the boxes. And then he scurries out the back door as well. You three go back down to the room. Euron's already down there. Lycus was holding his lights. What are you looking at, Euron?
Let's start with the bones. Is there any way to, like, they're human? How recent? Any sign of what killed it?
They're definitely humanoid, and they seem to be adult-sized humanoids in general. If you want to see how long and any more specificity besides that, I need a nature check and a medicine check from you. Lycus, you're holding lights. Is there anything you want to look at, or no? Just giving light?
No, I'm just giving light and let her direct me if there's anything like, oh my god, you need to come see this kind of thing. Because I don't want to get snuck on. I know Ina's got the other side as well, but I'm just kind of holding fast for her to tell me if there's something.
Okay.
That's an 8.
Because I can't see what this room actually looks like, just theater of the minding it.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Okay.
So you're holding lights. Give me your perception check since you're kind of keeping a little bit of a lookout as well, so you don't get snuck up on. Ina, you go down the stairs a little bit. You look around. You don't see any people in here besides Euron. There's no other individuals in here. The kids are out. You see the table and some chairs and beds and things, and then obviously some bones on either side of the wooden stairs.
Is it like a fully enclosed? There's no more doors. It's just the stairs in and the stairs out.
It's a like 30 by 20 squarish rectangular chamber carved out of the bedrock.
All right. All right, then I'll just go back out to the alley with Science and the kids.
Okay, you got it. What's your perception check, Lycus?
15.
Okay. You're on your nature check?
Okay, sorry, I rolled for medicine. Hold on.
Okay, what your medicine was an 8.
Yeah, nature. For fuck's sake. Okay, no, 5.
5. Okay. Adult humanoid, you know they've been killed relatively recently. They are cold, if you wanted to touch them. They do.
Yeah, I'm touching them.
Okay. They do glisten. You have some type of physical residue on them. Seems to be a natural substance from a body. They appear to have somehow been stripped away from whatever flesh they were attached to.
There's not like teeth marks or anything on the bone, are there?
No teeth marks, no.
Okay, thank God. Alright then, put that down.
I think it is safe to say you would see on several of them, especially the larger pieces, the thick pieces like thigh bones and what you can make out as ribs and things like that, you would see scoring marks that would be consistent with probably a large knife.
And I will just look at Marcus and just go, whoever this poor son of a bitch got cut apart.
All in all,
The hell looks like cut it? Like it was cut and fed to the kids, or they killed it? Like, what do you mean?
No teeth marks or anything, so they weren't anything. But
Is there a cooking fire pit or cooking oven or furnace or something that we could see? Just curiosity. Like, oh my god, did they eat them raw?
Check the table, Lycus.
I'll go check the table.
okay. Give me an Arcana check, Lycus.
That's why I sent him to the table.
Looking around, between a combination of the rib cages and the skulls you're on, you estimate
13.
there probably be 13. Got it. You estimate there probably be about 13 corpses here. I'm sorry, not 13. I was thinking of the kids. 10 corpses here. You see the dark candelabras. Most of the candles are melted down most of the way. The arcane instruments, it looks not unfamiliar with things you've seen written in books about the old ways with ritualistic sacrifice. The bowl itself, there is a large dark liquid in it. It's filled not all the way up to the brim, but pretty close. It looks like it's holding about 2 gallons or so. And there's all sorts of strange inscriptions and drawings. Some of them here and there, you remember in your very brief time from the various art and scroll work that you saw when you were passing through the rooms on the first floor of the temple in those arcane areas, the legend lore areas with all the scrolls and things. So they are associated with Lutheria. You see a darker area on this table, and even in the purplish light, considering how much combat you've been in, you can tell that this is a massive, old, and regularly renewed blood stain on the table.
Did I Arcana what that blood symbol would register? Is that what that was for Arcana? Because if not, I want to really like pay attention. Like, wait, what? Like, at first it's just a table with some liquid. Now, you know, it's like, oh, wait, what the fuck, kind of thing.
So you do recognize, because of the Arcana check, you know it's ritual of sacrifice. You know that these are arcane symbols and things of that nature, but because you don't have much knowledge in particular about Lutheria or the Cult of Lutheria, that's all you can get at this moment.
Okay.
Lycus, there's enough bones for 10 people.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. We're doing some sick shit here. I want to write down the symbols. I want to copy everything, because if I don't know, someone else does.
Okay. You take about a scroll real quick, and you make a rough approximation of them, close enough that you won't recognize them, etc. But you don't want to linger too long because of the situation.
Right. Yeah, it's not going to be a whole. It's just a rough. You know.
I'd like to. I'd like to take a look at the liquid in the jugs. What the hell?
So the massive bowl in there, you look at it, it's dark. You can't tell much besides that. The bowl is that black. It's trimmed with bronze around the lip, and there's various, just, it seems like a decorative bowl really, but the liquid itself, I mean, it's a dark liquid. I'm not sure what else you want to do besides look at it.
Lycus, you got a vial on you?
I stick my fingers in it and I smell it, and then if it does smell sweet, and if it doesn't smell like blood, I taste it. I mean, like, kind of thing.
Okay. It is, with your expert tongue, you can tell that this is the same heavily fermented wine that you were given before, the same wine that made Full-On sick.
Their sacrificial wine. That's what it was called, right? It was their special sacrificial wine or something. Yeah.
A ritual wine, basically.
Their ritual wine is made from fucking kids. Is imbued with kids? Imbued with children?
I mean,
no,
I didn't say that. You're welcome to infer that.
Here's Lycus. I don't know anything about this magic shit, but this is my thought. I'm guessing they said you have to drink the wine regularly to get used to it, and doing so is part of becoming part of the cult. This is probably where they would get their first taste, and then maybe it's punctuated by, and I'm whispering for the record, whispering.
I know.
And probably punctuated by a nice meal.
I pour it all over the symbology, like fuck them all. I smear the symbols.
It spreads out kind of slowly and thickly before dripping down the side of the hollow, liquidy sound off the sides. It kind of echoes throughout the chamber in the silence.
Like, if there's nothing else, let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh, please, I feel awful.
Okay. You quickly come up.
I want to quickly wipe my feet on something so I'm not tracking sacrificial wine out. And then, yes, go out into the back alley.
Okay. Make your way out. You kind of have the sense to close the doors behind you a little bit. And... Go ahead.
You muted yourself.
You're muted.
Sorry, thank you. When she turns to leave and everyone's leaving, I light the supply room on fire, and then I close the door. Just slightly. And then we leave.
Okay.
Can't hear an inferno. I'll smell something, but there's candles and fires lit all over the place. It probably won't burn down the church, but fuck them.
Austin, he lit the room on fire before leaving.
You didn't know that. You left already. You can't hear the fire.
I'm telling Austin, not Cyanus.
Oh, Austin, sorry. I was just so used to us getting the names mixed up.
I always miss the chaotic shit whenever I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. So I want to start a fire,
Easy enough.
and then you close the door, and then head out. That way, it's gonna smolder and cinder everything, and as soon as someone opens the door, the oxygen eruption. I got some buddies that are firemen. I know how that works.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Lycus has met many Matrosian firemen. That's cool. It makes sense.
Absolutely. And then we're gonna depart.
All right, so Lycus comes out after everybody else into the alleyway, closing the back door slowly behind him with a unrecognizable look on his face. The kids are huddled over in the corner. Where y'all go? What do you do?
What's that smell?
It's your upper lip. Let's go.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't smell anything.
If you smell anything, you smell wine.
Yeah, there's a lot of that shit laying around.
Yeah, sure. So I think these kids better be suited if the Temple of the Five was looking after them, because fuck these guys.
Language, they're children.
They're kids in Stygian Row. They're gonna hear worse.
Forgive me for wanting to spare them a little. Are any of them hurt?
At first glance, no. They seem to be moving okay. They don't appear all okay in
They're all in
general
shock,
sense,
clearly. Yeah.
but they don't seem to be physically harmed.
Let's get them back to the church.
If there are any that look like shell shocked, I want like a couple of them. I want to like pay special attention, pick them up, try and like comfort them a bit.
Come on, Leo.
I'm carrying one in my arms and talking as we're walking.
I believe that.
As you lead this procession of children through Stygian Row, all these small bodies clothed in dark black garments, people actually notice, which is very unfamiliar, which is very weird in Stygian Row. Everybody normally bumping into each other, but they kind of part in front of you as you make your way down the winding roads, everybody giving you enough space to go on your way and then closing up behind you like a sea of drunken debauchery. You slowly make your way, making sure that the kids all keep up and prying eyes aren't paying too close of attention. You make your way up to the Temple of the Five. The guards at the royal gate look at you very suspiciously, but they seem to recognize you and think better than to question you on your business. Once you enter the massive courtyard in the temple district, Temple of Sidon off to the left, Temple of the Five off to the right. We're hiding them
from the Temple of Sidon. We are hiding them from the Temple of Sidon.
You beeline it to the Temple of Five, which is just off to your right, past the ponds and the beautiful trees lining the row. And you come up to the stairs. Everybody, one by one, starts to notice you and just kind of stops talking and looks at this strange conglomeration of people.
Don't mind us.
I will grab an acolyte. I've still presumably got some kid on my hip and pull an acolyte over and just go, would you be a dear and go get me Mistred? And if any of the gods are still here, please get them too.
And Jaw kind of slack, looking back and forth, just kind of silently nods her head and walks off. And a moment later, you see Mistred at the top of the stairs and looks around and looks at you and takes it in for a moment and then quickly hurries down, hands folded in front of his chest, somehow maintaining his balance as he gets down to you very quickly. Whoa. What is all this? What is all this?
Are you looking for any new acolytes?
What? We don't take acolytes this young? Where did you get all these children? What are they doing? What are you doing?
Save them.
We've just saved a group of children, and they require care, protection, and cover.
Yes, of course. There's always room for the needy here at the temple. We can we can tend to them, and we can send them to the Queen for protection, and of course let the guard know, and I'm sure they will have questions. But of course, bring them this way. Bring them this way. And he scurries around us.
Before I laid him off, I just have one kid that's like right beside me, and I was like, "And you, we're the quiet one." Start ruffling his hair, rubbing his cheek, and I'm like, "Here you go."
And he looks up at you and just slowly brings his hand up and gingerly takes it and puts it back down. He looks off to the left and to the right for a moment, and then he quickly just slams his arms around you and hugs you as tight as he can around his hips, his face buried in your hip, and like a death grip, not wanting to let you go at all.
It's all right. It's all right.
Okay, buddy.
One of the other children kind of places her hands on his shoulder and gingerly starts to pull him away, and they follow Miss Shut around. You're on leading them, carrying one or two, and you see they go off on the left side of the temple. There's another building there. It's kind of almost U-shaped, and they go in the front door, and a few moments later, Euron comes out. Euron, he settled them in a back room. He has a couple of acolytes tending to them, giving them some tea and things like that, and making sure they're okay, and he sent one of the young gray-togaed acolytes to run off and go speak with Fetch Queen Valis, and another one to the Centurions.
How old would you say these kids are?
A range of ages.
Just young.
Young.
If there's any that are close to like 6 or 7, she dotes on them just like a slight little bit more.
Okay. I'm gonna ask the priest, do you recognize any of this symbology? Kind of show what some of these symbols are, like, or anyone around here that might know this. Does this ring a bell?
He takes it for a moment and looks at it, squints his eyes, and scratches his head. I can't say that I recognize any of this in particular. This one here, I've seen that among the worshippers of Lutheria, they're most devoted, the ones that typically lead the missions that they send out into the world. Perhaps Vitalis would know more. He is very wise in all sorts of strange things that sometimes even the Queen Valis herself is unaware of.
Perfect. Well, let's find out, because Queen Valis will be here soon.
As you wish.
Or is he here?
Vitalis?
Yes.
He spends his days in the Great Gardens.
I've always wanted to meet him.
Yeah, so we'll have to. Okay, well, we'll ask the Queen, and then we'll go see Vitalis. I'm just really curious what I'm looking at here. Thank you for your help.
Light shine upon you. If there's anything else, I will be tending to the children until the Centurions or the Queen arrive.
I will go into my bag, kind of, gently nudge Cyanus and just be like, let me coins. And I want to pull out about 10 let's 10 gold.
I just give her 12.
Yeah, 12 gold, and
there was like 13 of them, right?
13 of them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll offer that
gold.
And say the contribution to the care, for their care, please.
Very generous of you. Mitros bless you and the children. He puts in his
Especially the children.
puts in his cloak and walks off, kind of hurrying along. Euron, Lycus, Cyanus, you with disadvantage. Y'all give me a history check.
No, not you. You're cursed.
No, that first one was a nat 1, so I don't know shit about
Hey,
this.
you got it out of the way. It's good.
Mine's a 10.
Okay.
16! Thank you!
Okay. You have heard of Vitalis Lycus. The thoughts are fleeting. It wasn't somebody that you ever really had any interest in meeting, so anything you learned just kind of went away. But you know that he is known to be wise, and some people seek him out. Vitalis is also known as Vitalis the Fat or Vitalis the Fragrant, although not something that you would say to him. People typically will seek him out in the Great Garden when they have something that is worth the trouble of going to see him to know. He's not a very pleasant person, but he does have answers. Generally, like Mistred said, even those that Queen Valis would not. He likes to exchange his favor with answering a question for fine food and fine wine. He is very much a food and drink loving kind of individual, and that's how he barters with people.
So we're definitely going to go get pheasant. Okay.
I hear you like wine. Have you ever had God wine?
I will share that with the others, and sort of he's the I think he's one of the wisest mortals alive, and in order to get an answer from him, you have to wine and dine him. The good shit.
That sounds like my kind of company to keep.
He's an asshole. Don't no.
You mean he's entertaining?
I mean, the statement stands.
Oh yeah, no, you get along with him famously.
Perfect.
But otherwise, Euron's just like found a pillar to lean against and just looks very like lost in thought.
Okay, so children are taken care of. We're waiting on Queen Valis and the guard. What the fuck's up with that place? Like, I ain't never heard of anything initiative or initiations. Like, them kids are traumatized. There's some crazy shit happening there.
There's crazy shit happening in this entire town.
I mean, I'm kind of glad I didn't go down there now.
There
Well, I didn't stay down there.
There was enough skeletons down there, almost one adult for every child.
Yep, sounds like Lutheria.
And I have some thoughts. They're not pleasant thoughts, but it's the only guesses I've got. But I'd rather not dive down that dark hole, but until I get a couple of more answers.
That's fair.
Because otherwise I'm getting flashbacks to the Maynard ritual.
What, you mean the ritual from the Mossy Temple?
Yes.
I mean, we didn't see the feast occurrence, and I wasn't like that the last time. When did the Maynard, wasn't there another time we did a Maynard? They did a Maynard, ritual?
That was in the Mossy Temple.
Was that just all in the Mossy Temple?
Yeah, and then we went there twice. So that might be why you're thinking it might be.
Okay. I might be getting me confused.
As you're talking, you see one of the acolytes that ran off to the temple come back and beeline straight for the building where the children are in, and quickly in tow, trotting behind him, is the confident striding, dark-skinned warrior type woman that you know as Makara, the queen's right hand attaché, for lack of a better term. Go into the building behind him. After a few minutes in there, she comes out and strides up to you and looks you up and down. Greetings again. How did you come by these children?
Do you really want to know the answer to that question?
I don't ask a question unless I want the answer, Sir Lycus.
Okay, I just want to make sure. We found them in the Cult of Lutheria temple.
So they were to be taking the black.
Yes.
They were being tortured.
There were items in the room to suggest that there was a rather grisly fate awaiting them, or part of it anyways.
That they were currently being tortured, traumatized. Someone was having some fun with them. Yeah.
Very well. I will share this information with Queen Valis. I'll take them into the Queen's protection myself personally. The captain of the Centurions will be finding you along his way. He knows where you are staying. He is currently putting down a minor incursion in the heart of the harbor, but he has been notified and he will be coming to take down the information and investigate this matter personally at the Queen's behest.
Is that the captain that we've... Just to clarify, the guy who came to fetch us, was he the captain of the Centurions? The guy with the dragon?
He was a captain in the Centurions, yes.
Which captain is coming to speak with us then, my lady?
Captain Galad. He's
Galad.
of the Queen's personal guard.
Is that a name I would recognize? Like older than a year?
I mean, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you would probably recognize the name. I don't know if you'd have any personal information with him. Give me a history check for fun. We'll find out.
All right, let's see. 14.
He has a strong reputation. You know, he is an older gentleman. He's been in the Centurions for many years. He's had rough dealings with some of the other of the higher ranking individuals, like those that are of the current Dragon Lord ilk, the ones that came to fetch you. And that's why he and several other long-standing members of the Centurions have been promoted to the Queen's personal guard, almost as though the fact that they don't get along with the other ones that are more personal to King Acastus is what qualifies them for being on the Queen's guard.
Thank you.
Well, if there's nothing else, I will be taking the children. Is there anything else?
If we're not at the tavern, we might be at the Oracles, where she's staying in the Noble District. I'm not sure if we're staying there at the tavern.
All right.
Ma'am, Your Highness, Your Majesty, excuse me, do you happen to recognize any of this symbology?
It's not the queen.
That's right. It's the broad. I forgot.
The broad.
But while you're
Queen's
here,
broad.
do you know about this?
Hey, while you're here, do you happen to know about this?
No, that is not my area of expertise.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
All right, I should hurry.
Last quick question.
Yes.
Do you have you ever dealt or know of anyone who's dealt with Vitalis? If so, do you know what kind of food he prefers? We really need to sweet talk him.
He eats anything that... Well, he eats anything. In fact, I've never seen him turn away any food or drink, although he does take it more kindly if it is of the harder to find variety.
Thank you.
All right, I'll be off. She'll see you soon enough, I'm sure. She turns and strides off.
Shall we go bribe a man for information?
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean,
Sure thing.
after that shit, all I know is I'm drinking extra tonight.
How about, let's see if we can find that pheasant stand.
He's probably eaten the pheasant,
Yeah.
but has he eaten food from the horn?
That is an option.
All right.
That is a very good point. That is some delicious food from that horn.
So,
Comic
make
relief.
out of the Royal Gate, down across the streets, back up through the Commerce Gate, into the Noble District you go. The Great Gardens are situated directly opposite the Agora, and as you look, kind of glancing over the low wall that runs along the street and you come into the large arched opening, you see a verdant garden sprawled out before you for hundreds of feet. It's a ring of immense oak trees encircling the entire thing, and the air here contrasting starkly with the ale and excrement-filled air of the Stygian Row, and then the highly scented and ritualistic aura of the Temple District. Here it's sweet with the most vibrant flowers and beautiful scents that you, in particular, Aina, feel much more at ease, as though almost you're in a field full of wildflowers outside of these stoned walls and massive buildings and the hum and drum of all these people all around you. A sense of peace comes over you for a moment as you look into all this massive green space. As you begin to walk in, you see many of these flowers are completely unrecognizable to you in particular, and even those that you've seen between Astoria and Mitros and the Mossy Temple, they seem to have come plucked from everywhere throughout Thylea, almost no two alike. Winding your way down these beautiful pathways, you see a large pond with a fountain in the middle, although you can see nothing from which this fountain spouts. It just shoots straight out of the water before folding back in on itself again. And as you step further away from that, the sound of the fountain dies down. You hear loud voices down one of the many paths off to the left, up ahead. Looking around, you see people taking in the sights, sitting, lovers talking, noblemen discussing business, and some guards keeping the peace, although you feel like here they never have to draw their swords. Following the loud voices, you go down a path. You pass a beautiful but strangely shaped tree. It almost looks like an umbrella top, and the leaves curl up underneath themselves as well, with some hanging fruits that come down. And then sitting on a stone column with a multicolored cushion in it, you see a opulent, gregarious, very round halfling with a ball top on his head and almost a tonsure cut, except it's not cut that way so much as it just kind of grows in that way. He has a thick goatee and sparkling eyes and two big dimples when he smiles, although you can tell by looking at his smile, it's not so much joy as it is sarcasm and wit that makes him laugh. You see an older couple walk away from him with a confused smile on their faces, as though they aren't sure if they should be insulted or happy with the information they got. As they walk past you, they nod and continue on their way, their togas flapping on their legs as they pass you. The halfling looks over to you and smiles deeply. Hello. Hold on. Hello. What's that? You there? No, not the green one. You. Yeah, the one with the fancy coat on. It looks like your face caught on fire, and someone tried to put it out with a hammer.
That is rather rude. She is just a Medusa.
I don't think he was talking about me, Lycus. I already know I'm ugly.
You are not ugly. You
Of
better
course
watch your
she's
tongue with
ugly.
my friend.
She is
See?
horribly
Exactly.
ugly. She's so ugly that when she was a kid, her mother sent her out to play. The Centurions fined her for littering.
Lord Vitalis, it is a pleasure to finally bear witness to your wit.
The pleasure is all yours, I assure you.
My brother came to see you for a love advice once, and he ran away crying. I'm not sure if it was because of out of joy or concern.
You there? Hey, turn around. Now, I can tell you're a centaur, but all I can see is the rear end.
I grab her hand, her arm, and just
Woosah, woosah.
Just get on with it. There's been enough small chit chat.
oh, that's enough small talk.
Not a fan of jokes, is she? I bet she's not a fan of mirrors either.
No, that would be me.
Speaking of, hey, you, yeah, the grouchy one. Do you have a mirror?
I mean,
He cracked the last one he looked into.
probably the last one I used.
Yeah. Good thing that mirrors reveal many things. Did you know that? I'm sure you did, otherwise you wouldn't have one. But they cannot talk. Quite unfortunate. It'd be so much easier if they could talk. But then again, lucky for you, they can't laugh either.
I look over. What the fuck? Can I?
Just feed him and ask him what you need to ask him, and we can go.
He's insulting my ladies. Like, I'm straight up like, this motherfucker about to get cut.
I am not insulted.
Neither am I.
You have to be this tall to insult
but-
me, and he don't hit that, so.
Oh yeah? And he stands up on the stone column and looks down at you. Now I am, and you're still ugly.
I take it you haven't seen a mirror in quite a while either.
Huh. Hey, you with the curly horns. Were you born that way, or did you just get jerked around by your head behind her for a while?
So, as wonderful as it is to hear the force of your wit, we do have a question for you, and we have a potential feast to offer you in return.
Ooh, a feast. Well, now you're talking. Let's get to the feast part first. What do you say?
Have you ever... I hear you like the exotic and the hard to get.
Yes, I believe I do. As long as it's tasty. There's a lot of exotic food that tastes as bad as he looks.
I will pull out the horn of Balmetria from my bag. And I will gesture to it like, haha. Wine first.
Whatever you say. If you're feeding me food and wine, I'll take whatever you want and in whatever order you want. Oh, but hey, before we get ahead of ourselves, I can tell I might have to slow this down a little bit for all four of you. I'm gonna use small words. These are the rules. Everybody gets the same rules. You feed me, and you get one question. I'll answer any one question you want. I will reach out to Mitros herself and answer any one question. But one question only. That's one question. And it works a lot better if it's about something that has a real resolution. You know, something like an event or the outcome of an activity or something like that.
So each of us get a question?
You can each have one question as long as you all hand me something to eat or drink. One time only. I only ever see somebody one time. Those are the rules.
I will pass the horn over to Lycus and say, you first.
I don't know what the fuck to ask this guy. I wasn't prepared for this.
Fine, I'll take it.
Well, I mean, we're doing the feast, right? So we can make
Yeah,
the table.
wine
make
first.
the-
Well, you can get two things out of the horn. We can pour him wine and then do the food thing. That was my thought.
Okay. No, I got you.
You have
I'll
plenty.
give it to
You have
Silas.
plenty of food and wine to go around.
Yeah.
That's not an issue.
Okay.
So, one question about a specific goal, activity, event, something of that nature.
Right. So I'll go first. Oh, wise fatling. Have you heard of any rumors of how one may kill a god?
That's your question? You're asking me if I've heard any rumors? Of course I've heard rumors. Anybody else got a question?
Do you have anything fucking concrete?
That was your question. One question. I'm just kidding, but that was a horrible question. Try better next time. I'll give that one a pass because you look a little slow. Okay? One question. Small words. One question. And again, it works better if it's a goal or an activity, something I can beat in on really, really good. Kind of like your eyes. Yeah, just like that.
Wow. Okay, so looking around, Argos, or I'm sorry, Ultros.
Hand me one of those rolls.
Yeah.
And then I just toss him one.
Underhand. We can ask him about Ultros. We can ask him. I'll ask him where the runes are, or what about all these runes and rituals and what it means.
I'm asking him about how to kill Lutheria.
This roll is so good.
Okay. All right, I'll go first because he's about to eat the whole fucking meal. Okay. I got something for you.
The horny one. Yes.
Always. Do you recognize? Can you translate? No. Translate? No. Question.
He seems really confused.
What did these symbols and incantations or whatever? What does this translate this to common? Will you translate this to common? Or what does this say? What does this say? What does this mean? What did these mean?
That's a lot
There you
of
go.
questions.
No, keep up with me. The last one. What did these mean?
It's all the same question. It's all just part of the same question.
Let me
It's the
see
same
it.
question.
Jeez. My eyes aren't as good as they used
As
to
your
be.
belly?
Oh, not nearly. I knew you were jealous of me. Although
like
your
the
shirt is a
fat-
little tight.
He's like the fat guy from Jurassic Park. Anybody need a soda? Soda for the vending machines? Anybody need a soda?
So Newman.
No.
I got him.
Oh god.
The symbols that are written there draw the power of the Queen of Dreams herself, and they bond an individual over blood to her everlasting service, at which point the individual will no longer have their soul. Once they die, they will serve them even in death. And oh yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, unless I can give you the fancy words, but if you couldn't read it, I doubt you even know what the words mean. So in common, that's basically what it does.
Okay,
Next question.
I'm good.
Who's up? The centaur with two rear ends? The snake hair lady, or the beady-eyed one?
I can go next. I'll find the nicest looking like stack of fruit or something and pass it over. Good, you're getting your greens. How do I restore somebody who has been erased from time and history?
That is the oddest question I have ever heard.
I pride myself on being unique, sir.
How would you restore someone that doesn't exist?
They did exist,
But they don't.
and now they don't, exactly.
So then you wouldn't restore them. You would just make them exist, wouldn't you?
Well, keep up. I said we're...
I'm thinking too much. Hold on. Such a power is not known to exist. And so in order to use such a power, much less reverse such a power, you would have to satisfy the being who had such a power. And in doing so, restore someone who no longer exists to existence.
So, to clarify from my simple mind, to restore somebody who has been erased from time, I have to find the person that erased them in the first place and convince them to undo the decision. Is that what I'm hearing?
That sounds good. For a simple mind. Indeed.
I'm only a soldier, sir. Thank you.
And are your snake soldiers too? Or are they just along for the ride?
I think more I'm along with them, but yes. I thank you. Great, wise one.
You are most welcome, Snake Lady. Now, beady eyes or two butts? Who shall it be?
Go first.
Good.
Okay, I'll go.
Yes.
Hand him something, anything. So King Acastus has found himself in possession of some dragons. Where can one find dragons?
Many places. I've seen several flying around the city here. Before I answer your question, do you mean where can you see dragons or where can you obtain dragons? I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to be the nice
where would
Vitalis.
one obtain a dragon?
There are eggs, dragon eggs, lost to history scattered throughout Bylea. Some in the possession of titans, some in the possession of gods. If you're looking for an adult dragon, there are many. I would have to know which one to tell you where to look. All right, beady eyes, your turn, unless you don't have a question, in which case I'll just go back to eating.
Got one of two questions, but I can't decide which one I want to go with.
Oh, you don't have to waste my time. You can always come back. Look, there's people coming. They probably have questions and more food.
Sure you'd like more food.
Ask about... this is Arya. Ask about you.
Yeah. When I was a baby, I was found by my adoptive parents, I guess you could call them, in a burnt out village that was supposed to be holding an event festival for Lutheria. would you happen to know anything that may have happened at that festival?
You're making it really hard to be mean to you. You know that, right?
Yeah, I tend to do that to people.
Yeah. Your parents did something they should not have done. Something they weren't supposed to do. They angered Lutheria. I can see no more than that.
Interesting. Well, now I have a thread I need to go right.
Yes. Be on with it. This
Appreciate
is boring and saddening. Next! You, with the wineskin. Come here! I have something to tell you. And he starts engaging somebody off on the side. You back up, giving them a little bit of space because the person seems kind of distraught. You feel like it's probably appropriate to not listen into that conversation. As you stand there, in the beautiful, spring-filled gardens, pondering what was told, that's where we're going to end tonight's session.